Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on? What's going on, people? Happy early Turkey Day. What's going on, Big B Daily Show? This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. Thanks for joining the show. We are live on YouTube. We are live on TikTok. What's going on, everybody? Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time. No show tomorrow. I'll be in my turkey coma all day. But we still got a lot of sports going on. This is one of my favorite times of the year. People. So I appreciate you guys joining in. If you're on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. Goal at least 3,500 likes and 5 new follows. So I appreciate it. Let's get to this. Let's get into it. So the college football rankings came out last night. I don't think there was any surprises. Washington moved to 4. Florida State moved to 5. And I don't think that it was any different. I think they did it because Washington has the best resume in the country. I know some people are going to say, well, Florida State's quarterback got hurt and we don't know how they're going to play without him. Well, we kind of do, because he got hurt and they were down 13-0 and they ended up winning 52-13. So, I mean, I think the backup at Florida State's pretty good. So they moved Washington to 4, but they should have had Washington at 4 the week before. That's the whole thing. They should have had Washington at number 4 the week before. Why they didn't, I have no idea. The committee, so inconsistent, so silly sometimes. It just drives me insane, but it is what it is. I'm still rooting for the chaos. Because here's what I really want to happen. Don't follow me along here, or follow along. I want Auburn to somehow, which it's not going to happen, Auburn somehow beat Alabama this weekend. Then I want Alabama to turn around and beat Georgia next weekend. And then I want Texas to win, and I want Texas to win out. I take that back. I want Texas to lose one game, either this weekend or next weekend, preferably this weekend, and it'll throw the Big 12 into a big cluster. I want Oregon to beat Washington in the Pac-12 title. I want that to happen. Either Michigan or Ohio State, one of them is going to lose. So that's taken. I want everybody to have losses. I want chaos in college football. That is what I want. So, because right now the committee, they're so inconsistent with this. Well, fine, be inconsistent. We're going to muck up the waters a little bit more. We're going to muck it up a little bit more. People on TikTok saying that if Oregon wins out, they're in. No, they're not. Oregon needs help. So they win out. They are not in. Now, they do have a good game this week. Oregon State's a good football team. They're a good football team. But Oregon's going to need some help. They're going to need some help. 100%. That's going to happen. But I'm rooting for chaos. But I don't know that we're going to get it this year, man. Georgia is too good. And it's not just their defense. Their offense is too good. It'll be nuts. So, no, Oregon's not definitely going to get in anything, man. They're going to need some help. They're not jumping undefeated teams to get in. They're not jumping Florida State. That's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They lost the game. If they hadn't lost and they went out, you'd have an argument. Sorry, it's not happening. Not happening. And the thing about it is, the Pac 12 is the best conference in the country this year. Bar none, it's the best. Period. End of story. So, usually in the best conference, the winner of that conference would be guaranteed a spot. But not this year. Not this year. Not if it turns out that way. They wouldn't be guaranteed anything. But we'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting. So the refs will determine Ohio State versus Michigan. I don't think they'll determine. I think it's if Michigan can run the ball, they'll win. If they can't, they'll lose. It's pretty much that simple. So that's kind of what I think. Let's see what we got over here on YouTube. No, we were going to do that. I would love for some version of that to happen, but we both know how much would have to take place. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's exactly right. My man Pearland said that Oregon's not winning out. Oregon ain't winning out. That's what he says. So let's not even start to talk about that scenario. I don't know that I don't know that Oregon won't win out. I don't know that they won't. I'm not convinced because I think the game that they play against Oregon State is in Oregon. And they can beat Washington. I mean, think about it like this. They had Washington beat, but their head coach got in the way. Making dumb decisions, going forward on fourth, not kicking field goals. Just dumb decisions. So if they win, it'll be in spite of, hopefully he's learned from his mistakes. Because they should have beat Washington last time. They were I don't know if they were the better football team, but they should have won the game. They were in position to win the game. The coach just got in the way. Dumb. Thanks for the gift, Benny. I appreciate it, man. Over on TikTok. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll see. Austin says, you think Harbaugh not being on the sideline changes the outcome Saturday? I don't. First of all, I think Michigan has devised something. He's going to be there watching the game. The game's in Michigan. They're going to have devised something to where they're going to have an earpiece, and he's going to tell the offense what to call, what to do. That's happening. That's happening. I don't care what anybody says. That's happening. So just because he's not out there doesn't mean that he's not going to have an influence on what's going on that sideline. Because I believe that he will. My man Pierre Land says that Blake Corum will run all over OSU. Yeah. I believe Michigan is just a better football team. I think they're a better football team. Florida beats Florida State is what my guy over on TikTok says. I don't see that. Florida's not very good. But it's a rivalry game, and I think the game's in the swamp, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. Austin, so cheating again. Yes. Yes. Michigan's going to cheat again. Yes. I mean, why not? You ain't cheating. I mean, you ain't trying if you ain't cheating, man. So, yes. It is what it is. It is what it is. If Roman Wilson's playing, he got knocked out of the Maryland game. We'll see. We will see. Let's move on. Let's flip our attention over to the NBA. Somebody asked me this question, and sent me an email and asked for it to be on the show. So I said, no problem. And by the way, anybody that wants something to be on the show, all you have to do is email me or make a comment somewhere But you can email me at bigbsportstalk44@gmail.com. That is bigbsportstalk44@gmail.com. But they said, is LeBron still playing at his peak? And my question is, yeah, it sure seems like it, doesn't it? It sure seems like he just doesn't have the same athletic ability that he did 10 years ago. But yeah, I think that LeBron is still playing at his peak. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts on how good he is playing basketball 21 years in. He'll be 39 years old next month. That's insane. And whether you like LeBron or not, which most people don't, you at least have to respect what the man is doing at this age, this many years in, with that much mileage. So you at least have to respect it. You don't have to like it, but you got to respect it. At least you should. At least you should. But let's move on, man. People have been waiting long enough. We're going to bring in my man, Hot Soup Fantasy Football, dropping in. I know you all have been patiently waiting to get your fantasy football questions in. Hot Soup, what's going on?
What's happening, B? What's up, baby?
Now, the first thing is I got a bone to pick with you, and some other people got the bone to pick with you. You know, I know that you go off and you have I told you so segment. Do you have I got it absolutely wrong segment?
Hey, if you go on and you watch the show, man, I say it. If I'm wrong, man.
Because I took your advice last week.
Trevor Lawrence.
Bench Trevor Lawrence. And I end up losing the game by 10 points and gave up basically 24 points that I would have gotten extra points for Trevor Lawrence.
Who'd you start, B?
Matthew Stafford, who you literally said on the show, get Matthew Stafford in your lineup. Now, Hot Soup, look here. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now. I need to know.
I'm not. Look, number one. How many people benched Trevor Lawrence last week? Not because I said so, but just because he's been playing like crap. Bro, he put up 0 touchdowns last game, right? Before that, he's hit or miss, man. He's probably had like 2 or 3 good games all year. Like, he's been terrible. So it's not like you were going to say, oh, I'm starting Trevor Lawrence this week and felt good about it. Like,
I felt great about it because my man Hot Soup said it.
You ain't. Hey, look, man, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Be not real for real. If I was perfect, everybody would be on my show and everybody would be a millionaire right now. You know what I'm saying? But there's nobody that's perfect, right? I went 8 for 10, man. 8 for 10. Everybody that said start double-digit points, either a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, RB1, RB2. I called 2 RB1s, one wide receiver 1 and 1 wide receiver 2 last week. All my starts was on a hit. Three of my sits was a hit. So, I went 8 for 10. Hey, I apologize, man. I can't be perfect. I benched Trevor Lawrence as well. You know what I'm saying? But I still won that. I still won that league because I had a Brock Purdy. I benched him for Brock.
Well, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We got some people here. Week 12, Sam Howell or Jordan Love start?
Bench Sam Howell, start Jordan Love this week. Sam Howell's going against a real tough defense, man. Really tough defense. Yeah. You already know what the Cowboys bring. A lot of disruption on the line. Sam Howell's not going to be able to just sit back there and pick them apart. He's not running the ball. He's going to be getting sacked. A lot of disarray. I see a couple picks. I don't see Sam Howell having a big game. He might have a decent game, but not a big game. Jordan Love, however, has thrown for over 300 yards in the past 2 games. Is looking really, really good. And he's going to have to pass. Aaron Jones is out. Dylan is, he's decent, but the defense that he's playing against, terrible in the secondary. The receivers have been stepping up over there. I think Christian Watson's hurt, but he hasn't really been doing anything anyway. The kid Reed, y'all should have picked him up off the waiver wire. He's been making big plays, running the ball, receiving the ball, and right. You got Dobbs is a beast, certified.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Jordan Love is also going to be running that ball. He'll get you a running touchdown easy.
Yeah, and he is. And I mean, while the Packers aren't great, we're talking fantasy football. Jordan Love is not a horrible start.
He's not.
He's a good start. So, who do you got this week? Talking top 5. Let's just do top 3 right now. Got to start. Got to start and sit. Top 3.
Everybody's having a problem at tight end right now. It's been a terrible landscape for the entire tight end over the last 12 weeks or 11 weeks. David Njoku is on a lot of waiver wires. He's been sitting on people's bench. I mean, a couple people have been starting him if they had no other option. But right now, with the Dorian kid throwing the ball, he dumped down to him 15 targets last week. Okay, there's no more Deshaun Watson in that offense. If he's getting 15 targets, man, that's a guaranteed 8 catches. You know what I'm saying? From a tight end perspective, Kelsey's not even doing that right now. So in my perspective, if you have David Njoku or you have access to get him, pick him up and start him this week. He's my number 1 start on my top 5 starts. And I'm not just going to go out there and grab guys that, the big names. That's why you never see a lot of big names on my start list. You see, I go down that list, man, and find those people there ranking really low. And I say, you know what? This guy right here needs to start this week. So,
I got you.
Yeah, man, it's not like I'm out here just picking the top guys, man. I'm picking trash and I'm turning them into gold.
I hear you.
They're also going against they're going against Denver, who is ranked last in the league against the tight end. Let me throw that out there.
And that's true.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's true. I know the Denver's been playing decent the last few weeks on defense. However, against the tight end, they're giving up yards.
Yep. Another guy I really like this week, I was going to say Raheem Mostert, which he is on my top 5 start list, is actually number 2 because Achan is out. And even though Mostert didn't have a big game last week, he had 24 touches. 24 touches means and everybody knows he has big playability. But let's not talk about Raheem right now. Let's talk about Gus Edwards.
Okay.
Let's talk about Gus Edwards. So think about it. Gus Edwards been having 9 touchdowns in the last 5 games. That's almost 2 touchdowns a game, right? He's getting all the goal line work. Not only that, they just lost the tight end for the year. Yeah. Okay. So now Baltimore's like, okay, are they going to be passing as much or are we going to focus more on the run? Lamar Jackson had more running yards. As soon as he went out, we got to do something else. I think they're going to lean more on the run for the next couple games. The passing game is decent, but it hasn't been what we thought it was going to be this year. And that running game is tough. Not only that, the kid Mitchell is really helping open up that offense a lot more on the ground, getting the ball onto the outside, catching the rock. So in my opinion, Gus Edwards gets a majority of the carries.
Right.
And he's also going to get more work just because of the fact that they're not going to the tight end. Those touches got to go somewhere. I don't see them going to the receivers. We got one receiver, Flowers over there, and then there's everybody else. Yeah, we got Odell Beckham, but
he's a shell of himself.
Exactly. I mean, it's still Odell. Throw it in the vicinity, he'll catch it. But is he gonna break big games? That's my point. So Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson get an upgrade for me after losing, in my opinion, just because the rush game and how many points you can get off rushing yards.
Makes sense. Who should we sit this week?
My sits this week, Jalen Waddle. I told you to sit him last week. I'm going to tell you the exact same thing. New York Jets defense shut Gabe Davis down last week, who was the number 2 over there for 0 catches.
Right.
New York Jets also shut down Stephon Diggs, their number 1 receiver, for 4 catches for 27 yards last week. New York Jets is the number 1 secondary in the league, and they're shutting every receiver down every time they play. Very little have been able to get off on those guys. So why will we go out there and start Jalen Waddle when he's the number 2 receiver in that offense?
Got it.
All right. Another guy we need to bench, man, in my opinion, is going to be James Cook.
Okay.
James Cook has been doing his thing, right? But he's going against Philly. Any running back going against Philly, you got to be a monster. James Cook's not a monster, right?
No.
And he's good, but he hasn't been great. And that's on regular defenses, some subpar defenses. So in my opinion, we bench Cook this week. Again, Philly's giving up before last game, which Pacheco ended up putting up 89 yards on them boys. They were shutting whole teams down to 66 yards rushing per game in the last 10 games.
Correct.
So that tells me bench James Cook. Let Josh Allen cook. Or let Josh Allen's work, and we shutting down Cook. The other bench, big bench that I got on my everybody's gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? Devontae Adams. Bench him. He's my number 5 bench. And the reason I said this, he has going against Kansas City's defense, who shut A.J. Brown down to 1 catch, 8 yards just this last game.
Yes.
Everybody understands that. So why am I going to go start Devontae Adams when his quarterback is horrible? Right. If I'm going to do anything in this game, I'm going to get KC defense and start him.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Got a question here as far as, let me pull it up. They were talking about the Browns or the Cowboys defense. Who should you start this week?
Browns defense. But I'm taking Browns over the Cowboys. I got the Browns in the. I was trying to pick Browns up in as many leagues as I could a week before this week, just to man. I think they're going to have a huge game. They're going against a terrible quarterback, terrible offense.
Got it. Now here's a question: Browns and Dolphins defense. Dolphins defense has been coming on here lately, man.
And they're playing a terrible offense as well.
Yes.
The quarterback is who is the quarterback? You know what I'm saying? So let's get Miami in there. So I like Miami or I got Miami too. I got 23 leagues, fellas. I'm big on I went and grabbed the Titans defense this week. So
gotcha.
Yeah. They're going against I think they're going against Carolina. Anybody facing a suspect quarterback, that's who I want. It's going to cause turnovers, going to get a lot of sacks, and that's what we want, and not a lot of yardage. Chase Young over there is not throwing for 300.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. And the running game and the running game is doing absolutely nothing. So
absolutely nothing.
Those are the defenses I want.
Got a good question here talking about the opinion on the running back situation in Houston. Singletary putting up starter numbers without Pierce around. Should we get him in our lineup?
Man, I talked about this 2 weeks ago. Go check out my show. Everybody whoever's asking my boy, hey man, check out my show. I said start Devin Singletary last week, and then I said no, and then the week before that. So the 2 games he blew up, I said start him. You got to get him in your lineups. They gave him the ball 25 plus times. The game before that, he rushed 30 times. So what that's telling us is, okay, to take a little off of CJ Stroud.
Right.
He's still a rookie, even though he's throwing up 350 plus. He's still a rookie. But now those defenses the secondary has to go backwards. Linebackers got to backpedal instead of come up, right? So it's opening up the lanes for Singletary. He's getting 5-6 yards a pop. It was something crazy at average last week. I forgot what it was. It was something crazy, like 7 yards a pop, man. This guy's going off, man. Get him in your lineups. That's my thoughts on Devin Singletary.
Got it. Got a good question over here for TikTok. They are saying Calvin Ridley, Zach Charbonnet, Brian Robinson, or Garrett Wilson.
Okay, back to the first one was
Calvin Ridley.
I'm out on Calvin Ridley. I know he had a big game, right? Got to show me 2 times in a row. Not one time this season has he had a big game and then came back and had another big game. He is hit or miss, just like his quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. They got to show me 2 weeks in a row before I even think about starting Calvin Ridley. Next person.
Zach Charbonnet. It's going to be a game time decision because I think they don't know if Kenneth Walker is going to play or not.
Kenneth Walker's out. They're not going to test. They're going to test their baby. They're not going to
test on a Thursday game on a short week. I don't think so.
Sir, he's out. I've been following up. I believe they already said he's out. If they haven't, it's trending that way. Charbonnet, start him.
Even against the 49ers.
He's young and he's fresh. 49ers run D isn't all that.
It's not that great. That's right.
Man.
It's
in the middle. It's in the middle right now.
Yeah. Yes.
They're in the middle, like 16th, 17th. So
got it.
Start them.
Brian Robinson been playing well the last few weeks.
He has, but look who he's going against this week.
Cowboys. Not going to be good.
No, sir. I'm out on Brian Robinson this week. I got Brian Robinson. I got him in 3 leagues. He's on all 3 of my benches right now. I got better options.
I got you. And then the last one is Garrett Wilson. I'm out just because his quarterback.
There's not even a Zach Wilson. Isn't it another quarterback? Yeah. Not even if it was Zach Wilson, maybe. Charbonnet. Yeah. If that was a flex talk for you, I'm Charbonnet all day.
and this is just something not necessarily fantasy football wise, because I think Zach Wilson, while he's been bad, this isn't all his fault on what's going on with the Jets, man.
It's not.
Crazy.
It's not, man. It's just, yeah, man. It's unfortunate what's going on with the Jets. You know,
Somebody
injuries happen,
agree.
man. You gotta persevere.
You got to persevere. Let's see. What do we got over here? My man says, hot soup. DeVito, Giants, ain't no punk though. Why are people all over this man after that 1 week last week?
Gotta show me.
Do it.
Gotta with a no name, just jump in. You gotta show me twice.
Yeah.
And even if that, I'm going into I need to win these games for the playoffs. Why am I going to bench somebody I drafted for a guy that's just hot and had a lucky game? Show me 3 times, and then I believe with him.
Got it.
That's my boy Golf Hawk, man. I see you, baby. Yes, sir.
Golf Hawk is always on. He is one of our main people that are in here every week, man. He supports us like crazy.
Always showing me love, man. I appreciate you, big dog.
So, quarterback-wise, give me 3 that we got to put on the bench this week that you just, nope, not a good week quarterback-wise.
Man, a lot of people going to hate me for this, but Jared Goff. I think last time he played Green Bay, he had 210 yards passing, a touchdown, and a pick. And they won 34-20 or something like that.
Right.
And in that game, David Montgomery was an animal. Also, Gibbs. Now, with the way that Gibbs and Montgomery have been running, I don't see that script really changing too much. They know how to beat Green Bay. They know how they beat Green Bay last time.
Right.
Why are we going to change it up?
Right.
In my opinion. All right. Now, Green Bay's secondary isn't the greatest, right? They're in the mid-range too. But I like to go back and see, okay, what did he do last time? You know what I'm saying? You think that defense ain't going to go say, okay, how do we shut him down? Now we got to shut down the run. You think they're just going to let him throw the ball? I don't think so. I think that the best way to beat Detroit is make them run and try to stop the run. Because that passing game, if it catches fire, boy, it's over with. So, in my opinion, I'm benching Jared Goff. He's actually on my top 5 sit list this week.
Okay. Who else we got at quarterback position?
Another quarterback. Hold on, let me look on here real quick. Let me go to I just had it in my. I was thinking about it earlier. Off the top of my head, there was a guy I saw, and I was like, no. We already talked about Sam Howell, and then Geno Smith, bench Geno.
Oof.
Yeah, bench Geno. Bench Geno this week.
Especially he might be hurt and against the 49ers. Not good.
Yep. Bench Russell Wilson as well. Russell Wilson going against Cleveland's defense.
It'll be tough, but Russ has been cooking though, Soup.
Russ has
been cooking.
Russ has. You can run decent on Cleveland, man. You can't pass on Cleveland.
That's the thing. You can run the football on Cleveland. You cannot pass which is
Cleveland,
odd,
man.
But you can't throw that football. That pass rush and that secondary is a monster.
Yep. Patrick Mahomes got to go see Las Vegas. They ain't been really looking good. He needs a big time receiver. They need to get that man somebody over there, Devontae Adams or something like that, man, for real.
And I was going to ask, because I got this question. You think Patrick Mahomes is still the number 1 fantasy football quarterback in the league? I don't think so anymore.
Nah, man, he's not. He's top 3, okay? You know why? Because he has absolutely nothing. He still gets it done. So
you're right.
He's still that guy, but if he had someone else, he'd be where we want him to be. Losing Tyreek hurt him. Everybody say, no, it didn't. He threw for this. He threw for that. It hurt him, man. It hurt him. Look, how many times last game did we see him throw the ball and them receivers just not be able to run under it or drop it? Tyreek was running under everything, taking it to the house. It was so easy for him. He just throw it up. He can't do that no more. So he had to change up his game, which made him better. He just don't got no receivers. I mean, Rashee Rice is the coldest thing I've seen out there after he catches the ball.
Got it.
Those other he got some fast receivers, but they can't catch.
They can't catch
everybody. They can't catch, man.
Yeah.
How many drops they have this last game?
Whew, ugly.
It was ugly.
Yeah, it was ugly.
All through the game, not just at the end. All through the game.
Correct. So, man, let's see what else, man. What else?
Rashad White's killing it. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Rashad White is killing it.
I don't have Rashad White in one league. I've been out on him all season. He was terrible at the beginning of the season, but he's coming on strong. Getting a lot of receptions, man. He's a PPR monster. Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
He is absolutely dominating what is going on right now. Well, hey, man, I want to thank you for coming in today, pre-Turkey Day.
Yes, sir.
To get us a little stuff because we got some games tomorrow, man. So it's important. We got to get our lineups in.
Got to get our lineups right. That's right.
So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for joining us again. Again, as always, tell everybody, Soup, where everybody can find you at, man.
Y'all can check the Soup out, man, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Go on, like and subscribe. Once again, you can always drop me comments. You can also ask questions. I go into my servers and I make sure that I answer everybody's questions within 24 hours. I go on that thing daily, man. And so I'll give you, if you have any questions, you're wondering what should I do? I'm leaning this way. I'm leaning this way. Hey, you're looking for the recipe. I got the ingredients for your soup.
All right, man. I appreciate it. And we will see you next week, man. Have a good holiday.
Yes, sir. You too, B.
All right.
All right.
That was our man, Hot Soup Fantasy Football. The guy just knows fantasy football like the back of his hand. Knows fantasy football like the back of his hand. Comes on every Wednesday. So you need some help. You need some advice. Set your dial on Wednesday. Come on in. Check us out just like you do every day and get your fantasy football update from Hot Soup Fantasy Football, man. So, all right. So what else do we have going on, man? Tomorrow's games. Cowboys over the Commanders. I like that one. Cowboys over the Commanders. Detroit. I like Detroit tomorrow. And, man, without the injuries, I was going to take the Seahawks, but I'm not taking the Seahawks. Geno out, Kenneth Walker out. I'm taking the 49ers. Who disagrees, agrees. I think the Cowboys might blow the Commanders out. The Cowboys got it going right now. They got it going right now. I think the Lions win. I think that game might be a little closer than what people anticipate, just for the simple fact the Lions defense isn't playing very good right now. So, not playing very good right now. But I definitely like the 49ers over the Seahawks too. I like that. Again, if Geno was healthy, Kenneth Walker was healthy, I would probably go another way. So, I would probably go another way. If you got a question, type it and ask. I'll answer it. So, I will answer it. Pacheco or Kyron Williams? I say Pacheco. I think the Chiefs are going to start running the football a little bit more than what they have been. The Chiefs have been running the football a little bit more than what they have been. So we'll see. We will see. You have Dak at 7 on current QB list. You agree? And where? I don't know if Dak is 7th as far as a top QB in the league. I think that's a little strong. I think that's a little high for Dak. I think Dak is more, maybe 11? I don't know, because Dak's playing really good football right now. Dak Prescott is playing really good football right now. But as a whole, I would say he's more like 11, 10. Quarterback play ain't been great this year. Quarterback play has not been great this year. So, but if we're naming guys, Dak is the 5th best quarterback in the league? That's a stretch. Come on, man. Dak is not number 5. He's not number 5. I mean, because you're going to take Mahomes over him. You're going to take Herbert over him. You're going to take Burrow over him. Now, are we just talking about guys that are playing? Or are we going to talk about guys overall that are in the league, even if they're hurt? Because Burrow would be somebody you took over Dak. Lamar Jackson, you're taking over Dak. I mean, there's Josh Allen, you're taking over Dak. I mean, there's 5 guys right there. So he can't be 5th. So I don't know what we're talking about. And Dak is not better than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was hurt. So I don't know what you're talking about as far as Dak being the 5th best quarterback in the National Football League. Dak's been playing well the last 5 games. But how did Dak start the season? I mean, he wasn't playing well at all the first month. So you got to stop that. You got to stop that. Dak played terrible the first month of the season. And everybody knows that. So, no, Dak is not top 5. So, but let's see. Man says Dak is 7th in my opinion, with room to end the season in the top 5. No. Again, and I mean, I guess it depends on what you're talking about, but I just named 5 guys that are better than Dak Prescott without even putting any thought into it, and they're better. Now, if you're just talking about this year, okay, then who else? Russell Wilson? I mean, the Broncos have been terrible, but Russell Wilson hasn't been terrible. So if that's what we're talking, then you got to put Russell Wilson in the top 5. And if to say Josh Allen isn't better, you're not watching enough football and you're a Cowboys fan. So that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. And I'm not even going to entertain that conversation anymore since that's the route we're going. So I do like the Cowboys. And there you go. Somebody says CJ Stroud is better. I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, come on, people. What are we doing here? Dak has had a good month, a good 5 weeks. But Dak is not a top 7 quarterback or a top 5 quarterback. Man. So, and you know how many guys have been good for 5 weeks in the NFL? Guys that are horrible quarterbacks but got hot and were good for 5 weeks. There's a lot of those guys. So, what's up, man? What's going on? What's going on? Miami's going to beat the Jets on Friday? They should. They should. Charbonnet, I like Charbonnet. He runs hard, doesn't he? He runs real hard. I like him. I like him. Great point, Golf Hawk. Russell is low-key viable killing it this year. Yeah, he is. If the Broncos defense was playing like earlier in the season, like they're playing right now, the Broncos would be close to the Chiefs. You could even say they'd be tied with the Chiefs because they ain't far behind the Chiefs right now. So, those are just facts that people don't want to talk about. But that's the truth. That is the truth. Russell Wilson's been playing pretty good football here over the last month and a half. Really all season. But the last month and a half, Russell Wilson's been playing good football. And that's with a bad offensive line. Because their offensive line's not very good. And Jerry Jeudy, he's a bad number 2 receiver. He's bad. So, watch Dak ball out tomorrow. Okay. I have no question that Dak is going to ball out against the Commanders. They're terrible. Their defense is horrible. So, yes, he should. I mean, Tommy DeVito just chewed up the Commanders. So, if Dak can't do that, what are we talking about here? So, yeah, but I don't want to get into that, Golf Hawk, talking about Dak, what he's done in the playoff. That's not what these people are talking about. I don't want to get into that. I think they know the past performances of Dak in the playoffs. I get it. But that's not right now. Right now, you got to give Dak his flowers. The man's cooking. The man's cooking. CeeDee Lamb, a top 5 receiver, you're kidding yourself. Stop it. Now, everybody's saying that CeeDee Lamb is not a top 10 receiver. I think those people got to be drug tested. Those people have to be drug tested. I don't understand where that's coming from, saying that CeeDee Lamb's not a top 10 receiver. That's crazy. But is he top 5? No. No. But top 10? Absolutely. Absolutely. So. Is Tank Dell in the top 5? No. The one thing is, guys, and people, is just because guys are having a good month doesn't mean that you are better than somebody that's done it for years and is still doing it. Are we saying Tank Dell is better than Devontae Adams? Is that what we're saying? Because if you're saying that, then I'm going to make fun of you for your lack of knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Because Tank Dell's had a good run over the last month. Or Nico Collins. Are we saying they're better than Devontae Adams or Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill? No. So we got to stop this. We got to stop this. We got to stop all that. St. Brown. Yes. I get it. Guys are playing well. But to be in the top 5 or top 10, you got to be doing it over years. Not just, okay, I'm playing well right now. Give me some years behind it. And then we can put you in that conversation. So that's all I'm saying. That's my criteria. And I know what some people are going to say. Well, what if you're a rookie? What if you are a rookie? Show me some consistency. Show me some consistency. That's all I'm saying. Can the Lions get the 1 seed? They can. They can. It'll be tough because I think they need Philly to lose twice, which is not out of the question. But they can't lose. So they can, but yeah, I don't think they will. I'm falling out of love with the Lions over the last few weeks. I like the Lions, but the Lions defense, I think, is going to disappoint us. I think the Lions defense is going to disappoint us. It's starting to revert back to that defense that we saw early last year. That's all. That's what I'm thinking. I'm saying the Lions, if they want to get the number 2 or 1 seed, they got to have the Eagles lose twice, and they can't lose any games. So only teams with 1 seed hopes: the Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles, and Lions. Yeah. Seahawks too, technically, but the Seahawks are going to disappoint me. Geno is having a average year. Geno is having an average year. So, but yeah, so technically the Seahawks, but I don't see the Seahawks making that leap. I'm just not seeing it. And again, everybody, as a reminder, we're not having a show tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. I'll be doing my turkey coma dance. But every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time, man, come and join the Big B Daily Show. If you are on TikTok and you're not following, give me a follow. Keep tapping the screen. We got about 1,000 likes till we're at our goal today. And if you want more interactive stuff, click on in my bio and click the YouTube link in there and come and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube and come join the live over there. Podcast, interviews. We just had an interview today that we threw up there. Podcast. Hot Soup Fantasy Football is connected. You get all of the stuff that he puts out on a daily basis. LTB Sports. We've got access to the stuff that they do. So there's a lot of stuff over on the YouTube channel, man. The Browns have playoff potential. Of course they do. Of course they. I mean, if the season ended today, the Browns would be in. I mean, the Browns are still trying to win the division. So, I mean, they're right there. They're just percentage points behind the Ravens because the Ravens have played one more game. After they lose on Sunday, those hopes will be slimmer. So you got the Browns losing to the Broncos? The Broncos are playing well, but I think the Browns beat them. My man Golf Hawk says the Lions and the Jags are huge frauds. Don't buy the hype. I'm more willing to buy the Lions hype than the Jags, but I think you're right. I think you're right on both accounts, Golf Hawk. I think the Lions and the Jags are both frauds. I think the Lions can win a playoff game. I don't think the Jags will. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. The one thing that I know as a Steelers fan, we fired our offensive coordinator, and it is all in the hands of Baby Hands Pickett. Either he can do it or he can't do it. I don't think that he can, which is unfortunate, but we're going to see. We're going to see if Baby Hands can get this thing done, man. And if he does, I love it. So, but I'm just not sure about Baby Hands, man. I'm just not sure. But I love my Steelers anyway. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to have this show. I'm thankful for all of you guys joining every day. Y'all keep me motivated. You keep me on my toes. I appreciate all of that, man. We're going to shut this one down for today. So I appreciate you all coming out. Again, as a reminder, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time, the Big B Daily Show. We are here live on TikTok, live on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, that's great. YouTube is just better, man. Come on over and check it out. Subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. All you got to do is follow me on TikTok, click the YouTube link in my bio, and subscribe. Much better than everybody that's on YouTube. And first of all, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But they'll all tell you. So you all have a good one tomorrow. We'll be off, and I will see you guys on Friday, people. Aloha.